Oh, I also saw that Chair Show. You know the Chair Show? I'll throw in another little mini review right now. It's called like the Chair Company, like a conspiracy involving these faultily manufactured chairs, or is it all in Tim Robertson's head? I don't know. Have you ever seen Detroiters? He's that guy. He used to be on SNL. He does. I think You Should Leave Now, the sketch show on Netflix. Also, just recently did his own movie Friendship with Paul Rudd. Have you seen any of this stuff? Really funny guy, very quirky. They're calling his thing cringe comedy, but they're saying that my comedy falls into the category of cringe comedy as well. I don't know what to tell you about all that. That new show of his is on HBO. All right, and it's called HBO again, so I can say that. I don't have to say Max anymore because it's back to being HBO. Yeah, go watch the Chair Show. The pilot came out. It's pretty good. That's worth watching. That, or you can go watch Death of a Unicorn. We were talking about Paul Rudd. He's in a movie where him and his daughter, spoiler alert, hit a unicorn with their car, and then his boss wants to manufacture it into pharmaceuticals. That movie's also entertaining. It's the Halloween season. You want to watch scary stuff or just funny stuff with zany plot twists and killer unicorns, you go watch Death of a Unicorn. Do I have my own short film with unicorns? Yes. Do I have a killer unicorn short story? Yes. Am I biased when it comes to let's have killer unicorns? Maybe I am. I love to see them. I want more killer unicorn movies. Can we do that? Can we greenlight a series of killer unicorn movies? Right? Let's, instead of doing Freddy, Jason, and Chucky 1000 part 1000 or whatever, and send somebody to the moon, send unicorns to the moon. Let's have a 7-part movie series of killer unicorns, and then in one part we will also send the killer unicorn to outer space, because every great horror franchise eventually goes to outer space. Remember that, kids. Just like they turn back the holiday shopping season back a month early every year. You know, they turn back a month on people losing it out there again. People losing their minds already. It's not even you know the normal time. But it's, you know what I'm talking about? Because like the shoppers, the retailers, it's like they move back to holiday shopping by 1 month every year, right? Same thing with people losing it during the holiday season. It's pushed back a year. So just people, there are people out here already losing it. The show can't save you, but it might put a smile on your face. And since you stumbled into it now, why don't you stick around for them space wives? Stick around for them super brains getting super philosophical at a space station. Stick around for them outer space Spartacuses. Let's start the show.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers podcast.
Home video headlines. What's new in the world of TVs, movies, streaming, and everywhere else? I saw this one report from a newsletter called The Dailies saying that older movies make up the backbone of streaming profits. Speaking of older movies, remember Aliens? Supposedly Walter Hill has 50 pages for a new story involving Ellen Ripley from Aliens. Sigourney Weaver has read it and has expressed interest in revisiting her beloved sci-fi character. Since shipping DVDs in the mail, Netflix actually just did something else revolutionary. They built a stop-motion studio in France that also has a training school for this method of animation. Speaking of old school methods made fresh, Greta Gerwig is going to use practicals and animatronics for the new Narnia movies. We might be finally entering a more exciting time for modern movies, but who could say? Oh, me! I can say. Johnny Spoiler. Movie of the week. Tonight's movie. Saturn 3. Two lovers stationed at a remote base in the asteroid belt of Saturn are intruded upon by an anal retentive technocrat from Earth and his malevolent 8-foot-tall robot. It's got Farrah Fawcett. You might have seen her in Extremities, Logan's Run. How about the original Charlie's Angels show? Pretty iconic, eh? It's got Kirk Douglas. You might have seen him in the Vikings, Is Paris Burning, and Spartacus, of course. It's got Harvey Keitel from Bad Lieutenant, From Dusk Till Dawn, and Copland. At the time of this movie actually had the biggest budget. No, not the biggest budget. the biggest set. That's what I meant to say. Not budget, set. How things are built. Okay. The biggest set in England at the time. It had something like 120-foot archways, and it might have been 200 feet high. The robot was named Hector for Hector of Troy. He wasn't named after that actor whose real name is like Gil or Neil or something like that, or Norm or whatever. There's just one actor out there in Hollywood who every movie character that he has is named Hector. No, the robot's not named after the actor whose name is Hector in every movie, okay? Just to make that clear. That's not what the trivia suggests. Alright. Anyway, speaking of the robot, it cost $1 million to make. It was 8 feet tall. He was modeled after a Da Vinci sketch. And his voice was supposed to be Harvey Keitel's voice as well. But they dubbed over Keitel for sounding too New Yorker. But I guess there's like no New York in the future? You think there would be. You think there would be a bunch of Teamsters cruising around the asteroid belt, right? John Barry had to drop out of directing to work on Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. You know, he was a great art director, set designer, so like I would think that, or I'd like to believe, that his influence is why the movie looks so great. Kirk Douglas directed for 2 days, and he wanted more nude scenes with Farrah Fawcett. For artistic reasons. Johnny Carson later interviewed Farrah Fawcett when the movie came out, and he teased her about the movie, and she seemed disappointed in her association with him. The producer said it was a disappointment. He said that John Barry didn't have enough experience to wrangle the actors, and they took advantage of it. Kirk Douglas' ego was running riot. Harvey Keitel refused to cooperate. Farrah Fawcett lacked personality and was mediocre. To be clear, these are the producer's words and not mine. At the time, Farrah Fawcett was more popular than Kirk Douglas. From what I read, Farrah Fawcett signed on to make a different movie than what actually was made. Her topless scene is ranked 18 out of 20 of the top 80s gratuitous nudes by a website called Flashback. Hey, it's basically Halloween. And while I'm watching the Saturn 3 movie, you can listen or watch this whenever. Pick this show up any time of the year, but I'm just happen to be recording it during Halloween season. And they do this thing called Huluween on Hulu, and they're doing it again this year. But I got an affiliate link, so go watch some scary stuff on Huluween for 30 days for free. Do you get it? Halloween and Hulu. Put it together. You get it? Huluween? Alright. Now back to our favorite bits from Saturn 3. I'm super pumped from the jump. It opens on a space station launching a really cool rocket towards Saturn. Saturn 3 is supposedly like an experimental food supply station for the galaxy or Earth. I don't know. I guess they send all the food back to Earth. Let's see. Oh, the visual metaphors are kicking off pretty early and pretty hard as well. The couple who I'm going to call the Major and Space Wife, they have these white spacesuits, and then there's the sudden arrival of the space pilot. Well, the space pilot wears a black, dark suit like Darth Vader, and the rocket is pretty shadowy too. We understand pretty fast that there's danger here. And they quickly establish 3 facts about the space pilot. He takes drugs called blue dreamers, he eats dogs on long space voyages, and he desires the space wife almost instantly. And here's how dating works in the future. May I borrow your body? Or are you for his personal consumption only? That's a conversation between the space pilot and the space wife, right? The Major's about to be retired and they call it abort time. The space pilot, he's brought a cybernetic superbrain to the station to take over operations. I love how the station, so I like the superbrain, and then it gets put into the robot. I love how the station looks black with blue lights, and you got these tubes and piping. We've seen that in a lot of these gloomy space movies, but in this setting it's a little brighter, and I think the contrast works well here. The mind link, it took the worst or most accurate parts of the space pilot's superego and put it into the robot. Because they got this little thing that allows them to go into the robot feeds off feedback from them so it learns more or whatever. They're like a Neuralink type deal. The robot at one point disagrees with the space pilot, which is fascinating. The other day ChatGPT stopped working on a coding project with me like it was tired or frustrated. And here's some advice, just in general. Don't piss off a naked Kirk Douglas. He played Spartacus after all. Yeah, there's a scene where he wrestles the space pilot naked. It's either that or the I think it's the space pilot, not the robot. Yeah, he wrestles the space pilot naked when they have a disagreement. All right. After the robot assaults the space pilot, he uses the space pilot's voice to turn, or taunt the other characters that are still alive. He taunts the major and the space wife, and of course he's using it. He's doing it by using the space pilot's disembodied head to do it. But that's not the most horrific thing that happens. The most horrific thing that happens is when the robot flips it on them, he makes them worker drones with these implanted control nodes in the back of their heads. A lot of the future is automated here, so when the space wife finally gets to take this trip back to Earth that she wanted for so long, like the eerie music and like the final frames of the movie, they make me feel like, oh, Earth is probably like taken over by these robots. The ratings, we like to do this thing called binge now, binge later, binge never. Let me break that down for you. It's a special thing that we do. It's a patented super rating system. It's the best movie rating system out there. It's magical. It's special. Patent pending. All right. Binge now is you got to watch it now. Binge later is like add it to the list. Just get around to it when you have free time. Binge never, just like it says. Don't waste your time. You can't get the time back. You've wasted 2 hours of your life. Who knows how this is going to go or play out. All right. Well, happy Halloween, because I think this movie would make a great double feature with that other movie we watched the other day, Lifeforce. So I'm going to say, binge now. For all its failures when it came out, for its levelness of B-movie campiness and cheese, it's cool to see these A-listers in a space movie. I mean, when are you going to see Harvey Keitel, a Brooklyn kid, all right, jumping around outer space, flying rockets, fighting robots, you know what I'm saying? All right, it's entertaining at least. Fan service, the fans are chiming in. What are they squawking about? My show was actually suggested to someone in real life, like on his phone, just cruising the internet, doom scrolling or whatever they do. He was actually surprised that my show was a big deal. I took the compliment, but there's no way to get excited when the 20-year-old says that he likes your show, because admitting from you that they like it makes you seem lame, right? So you got to play it cool, hotshot. If you're out there in the void and this nothing impresses this generation is impressed by something that you've done, you just got to play it cool. Okay, hotshot? And try not to be a bullshit artist at the same time. Staff picks. If you don't like the movie of the week, what else can we recommend? Let's talk about Diane Keaton for a minute. Let me suggest you watch one of her movies, like Something's Gotta Give. That's probably my favorite Diane Keaton movie. It also features Jack Nicholson, Keanu Reeves, Frances McDormand, Amanda Peet, and Jon Favreau. Her last name actually really is Hall, and she played Annie Hall in Annie Hall. And there's another iconic movie, Looking for Mr. Goodbar. That's also great. She's kind of magnetic, right? And she makes movies better with her presence. I never met her in real life, but I would have liked to. Good journey to you, Diane Keaton. Well, we got here a little early tonight. I'm not going to drag it out. It was an entertaining ride to discuss freaking Saturn 3 with you. And no, you're like, oh, are there 3 Saturn movies? Saturn 1, Saturn 2, Return to Saturn, and Saturn 3, The Apocalypse? No. Saturn 3 simply refers to the name of the station in the movie, because it's on one of Saturn's moons. I don't know, Titan? Who the hell? Is that one of Saturn's moons? I don't know. They don't actually specify what freaking moon it's on. But basically, there's a small space station there. Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett are in charge of it. They're kind of like a bougie Santa Monica couple. It looks like they might invest in real estate, and they just bought an asteroid belt. No. They're there. They're basically space farmers? I don't know, because they're supposed to manufacture some kind of food that they then send back to Earth to feed all the overpopulated whatever planet. It seems like things aren't going well for us in the future, so we have these food plants in space trying to make us food, and it gets sent back to the planet, something like that. Listen, I don't know if I've ever seen Kirk Douglas in another science fiction movie. He's done westerns, he's Spartacus. His Spartacus attitude comes out in this movie, which is really funny, so to see the guy playing Spartacus fight robots in outer space, and also be cockled by Harvey Keitel in the same movie. It's super fascinating to me. And Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett's like an icon. She's a legend. She's good in basically everything she does. I mean, it's sad that this movie came out. People wanted nothing to do with it, but I get it. It definitely would have done better if it came out today, maybe in today's mix of movies. But do I qualify it as a hidden gem? I don't know if I would go that far, but it's definitely worth watching. Listen, it's closing time. You can't stay here, but you don't have to go home, like the song done says. Why don't you go out and find one of those adult-themed arcades and like have a few pints while knocking out Donkey Kong? Halloween week continues next week as well. Oh, I also saw that chair show. You know the chair show? I'll throw in another little mini review right now. It's called like the Chair Company, like a conspiracy involving these faultily manufactured chairs. Or is it all in Tim Robertson's head? I don't know. Have you ever seen Detroiters? He's that guy. Used to be on SNL. He does I Think You Should Leave Now, the sketch show on Netflix. Also just recently did his own movie Friendship with Paul Rudd. Have you seen any of this stuff? Really funny guy, very quirky. They're calling his thing cringe comedy, but they're saying that my comedy falls into the category of cringe comedy as well. I don't know what to tell you about all that. That new show of his is on HBO. All right, and it's called HBO again, so I can say that. I don't have to say Max anymore because it's back to being HBO. Yeah, go watch the Chair Show. The pilot came out. It's pretty good. That's worth watching. That, or you can go watch Death of a Unicorn. We were talking about Paul Rudd. He's in a movie where him and his daughter, spoiler alert, hit a unicorn with their car, and then his boss wants to manufacture it into pharmaceuticals. That movie's also entertaining. It's the Halloween season. You want to watch scary stuff or just funny stuff with zany plot twists and killer unicorns, you go watch Death of a Unicorn. Do I have my own short film with unicorns? Yes. Do I have a killer unicorn short story? Yes. Am I biased when it comes to let's have killer unicorns? Maybe I am. I love to see them. I want more killer unicorn movies. Can we do that? Can we greenlight a series of killer unicorn movies? Right? Let's, instead of doing Freddy, Jason, and Chucky 1000 part 1000 or whatever, and send somebody to the moon, send unicorns to the moon. Let's have a 7-part movie series of killer unicorns, and then in one part we will also send the killer unicorn to outer space, because every great horror franchise eventually goes to outer space. Remember that, kids.